It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce Sarah Vieder. Your maiden name was Gelber. We here in your beautiful apartment in Yerushalayim. And Sarah, you are a Yakir Yerushalayim. It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce Sarah Vieder. Your maiden name was Gelber. We here in your beautiful home in Yerushalayim. And Sarah, you have been awarded Yakir Yerushalayim, which is a tremendous honor. It's a zchut. It's one of the greatest honors a resident of Israel can receive. So kol hakavod, well done. But Sarah, you were not sure that you were born in Romania.
I was born in Romania in Târgu is the name of the village where I was born. At the 3rd of November 1939.
In 1939?
1939.
Wow.
Yeah, November 1939.
And what date in November? What day in November?
3.
The 3rd of November.
3rd of November. And the war was פרצה המלחמה.
And Sarah, can I ask, did you come from a very religious family?
Yeah, a very religious family, of course. And the war broke and Romanian were good friends of the Nazis. They were not conquered by the German, but they were
allies.
They were allies, but not, הם לא נכבשו, but הם היו גרורות. And they also decided התליה צהוב.
To have the yellows to put.
have the yellow, yes, to put.
And you had to put the.
Yeah. So my mother turned the flag, the Romanian flag that has a yellow side, and from this she made the yellows for the family.
And how many?
From the flag.
From the flag of Romania.
Romanian. Yes.
And Sarah, how many were there in your family? How many?
No,
siblings?
my parents were a young couple and I was only me. But I had a Saba, a grandfather.
And do you have any pictures of your family?
This is my Saba, the grandfather.
Okay.
My parents are not here I have, but not here. I didn't prepare all the...
And Sarah, who else are in this picture?
This is my father.
And these pictures.
This is a uncle.
And these were the family all lived in Romania.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah, do you know what your father, what he did for a living?
Hmm?
What did he do for a living?
For what?
What did he do to earn a living?
They were סוחרים, merchants, with oil and meal, קמח
Flour and...
flour, כן. They were מוכרים את זה בכפרים.
They sold
They
it.
sold it in the neighborhood.
And Sarah, can I just ask?
And he was learning at Beit HaMidrash.
He was a very from Kehillah.
Of course, yeah.
and the Beit Knesset and...
Yeah, of course, Beit HaMidrash. They were not yeshivas, but Beit Midrash.
That's a place of learning where...
Mm-hmm.
And were there many generations in Romania?
I think so, yeah. Few generations. Yeah.
So you were born really... The war had already begun. It was the 1st of September, the war, Germany invaded Poland, and you were born on the 3rd of November.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was the war. And Romanian, at that area where we are living, was not so bad. The bad side was at Basarabia and Bukovina, the areas that were supplement to Romania after the First World.
It was the Treaty of Versailles.
This was a very bad situation. They were sent to Transnistria to kill there. They were killed there. But the Shetach, where the area where we are living, was quite, but only the gzerot of the, you are a Jew, so you have to wear
the yellow star.
The star, the Jewish star, and so.
And what is your earliest memories? What do you, the earliest thing that you can remember?
I remember at 44, we were living to Israel. We had certificate. We could live. This was the war was, Romanian was permitted Jewish to live because Russia was against the Nazis, so Romanian went with the Nazis more against
they sided
the Nazis.
with the Russians.
They changed their politic, Romanian. At the first time, at the first of the war, they were with the Nazis and against Russia. But when Russia was
I think when they saw that Russia's winning,
they went more to Russia, and they leave the Nazis.
And how did your parents get the certificates?
My mother had brothers in Sweden, and they
organized it.
They organized it. They organized the certificate through the הנציג השוודי ברומניה.
It was the ambassador
of Sweden in Romanian. Through him, they made the certificate too.
And where you lived, was it far away from Bucharest?
From
Bucharest, from the capital? Bucharest?
From Bucharest? A few hours, yes.
And did your parents have to go?
Have to go to Bucharest, and a few months we were in Bucharest before we were to Constanța to the ship.
And you remember this?
Bucharest, yes, I remember a very, very, very hard day that the בעלות הברית were הפציצו את רומניה.
There was bombing.
Bombing, yes, it was a
And you
bombing.
remember the sound?
I remember the bombing. Yes, we were running to a shelters, and this I remember.
And did your parents have more children?
No, here in Israel.
But,
yes,
but you were the only one that went with your parents?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And Sarah, was that do you have any earlier memories?
No.
Do you remember leaving?
From the ship that we had to leave all the, because there are so many people that going on the ship that we had to leave all the baggage on the and go without baggage because the ship couldn't take all the people with the baggages. So I remember that I was losing my toys, and the mother, I wear one dress and another dress, and also because all the other things had to
You had to leave it behind. And did you ever get it back? Did they ever send it?
No, never. We came to Israel, so with what was on our. But I have here two uncles. They came at the early 30s to Israel. They were in Kfar HaRo'eh, and they took us from Atlit. When we came to Turkey through the Hayam HaShachor, the Black Sea, to Turkey, and from Turkey with a train to Atlit.
And do you remember going on the train?
When we are going to Rosh Hanikra, you see the rail. Our train was.
So you went right through Lebanon and.
Yeah, Lebanon, through
Syria?
Through Syria and Lebanon and Rosh Hanikra and Atlit.
And it's amazing that this happened in what month? Do you know what month?
44 ביולי.
In July 44.
July 44.
And the war is still raging in Europe. And
yeah.
It's a miracle that. And Sarah, can I just ask? We hear the terrible stories what happened in places like Yash.
Yes.
How far was Yash away from where you live?
That was 41. June 41. Professor Bauer said in one of his articles that Romanian was the first one who committed the Pitaron Sofi, the
final
solution with this train with Yash. They were before the Nazis were do it. The Romanians were the first one who committed the final solution.
So Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about, because you had a...
What they do, they called all the Jews to come, all the men, to come to the area,
it's like the municipality,
to the municipality. People ask, because my uncle was a manhig, was a leader of the religious Zionist. He was the leader of the Tzionim Datiyim.
What was his name?
In Romania.
What was his name?
Chaim Gelber.
Can you show us the picture? And you have the picture of this was your uncle.
Yeah. people asked him what to do, and he said that if they call us, we have to obey, to come and see what they want. And what they did, they bought a train and put all the Jews in all the
compartments.
Yeah. And 3 days the train was running through Romania, and then they opened and all the people died. This was the final solution.
And this started in Yash?
Yeah. This was in Yash. And so our family lost two uncles. He and another one. He was also there. Another brother of my. They both.
Did you know Sarah? Did you know his name?
Shalom. Yes.
And did your parents know? Did they know that this had happened?
Of course. After a few days, they know. Yeah.
So already people knew in 41 of what was going on, what was happening.
And there is a קבר אחים גדול, but my uncle has a קבר separate because they could find him among all the other people.
And so he's got a separate...
yeah, he has a yeah.
Is it there still today? They buried him in a separate...
And what I tell you, that his uncle, his granddaughter lives here in Yerushalayim. You can meet her. She was there. She found the kever.
She found the place where he was buried?
Yeah.
And Sarah, in these pictures, who are in these pictures? Who are the people in these pictures?
This is the family of the uncle. Here is one daughter and another daughter and his wife.
Okay. So Sarah, can I ask, when this happened in Yash, maybe this is what encouraged your parents to get the certificates, because if it happened there, they must have been very nervous that it could happen again in other places.
Of course. They wanted all the time to לעלות לארץ, to go.
They always wanted to go.
But it was not... they wanted all the time, but when they married, they wanted. They said that we will go to Israel one day.
The British had the mandate.
Yeah, the mandate, yeah.
And they had the white paper, they wouldn't allow.
But and the uncle in Sweden, they said that they make the certificate and through all the...
And Sarah, what happened to the rest of the family? Other grandparents or uncles and aunts?
The family of Reb Chaim, he was killed, yeah. He was killed in the train. But all the family, they עלו לארץ with us.
They came with you?
Yeah, they came with us at 44. And the Saba also. Saba also came with us, 44.
So here's the grandfather. And this is the rest of the family that came with. And Sarah, do you remember leaving your home? You were very small, but do you remember when
Not
you
very.
left your home?
Not very, not, I can't draw it, I don't,
Do you have any memories of your home?
no. I was so impressed when I came to Petach Tikva and the kindergarten and all this. I was impressed from not from the past, but from the...
And the train, do you remember the train when you came?
Yeah, it was 2 days in the train. It was not so easy, a long time in the train. And in Haleb, we changed the train in a train of
Khaleb's in Syria.
מה?
Khaleb is in Syria.
כן. In Lebanon. We changed the train into trains that you can,
Because I think
with Chatzir, you can lay, you can
lie down
you can lay down.
in the compartment. And you remember the changing
that
of the
it was lighter, okay? It was nice, okay? And they gave us they gave us from the Sochnut, where Jewish there, they gave us the fruit, bananas, and
This is before you came to...
before we came to Israel, yes, on the way.
And had you ever seen a banana or eaten?
No, it was new banana and tapuzim
And oranges.
and oranges.
You never had it in
It
Romania?
was, no. It was very, very... okay. So we are thinking about the future, not on the past.
And so when you came through Rosh Hanikra and you came into Eretz Israel, into Israel, your parents must have been very emotional. They must have been
Of course. Of course.
And how long did you stay in Atlit?
A few days. We came on Friday, and I think that Tuesday the uncle from Paraguay came to take us. We were not a long time, in a few days.
And did you go to Kfar Roeh?
Yeah, we were a few weeks. We were in Kfar Roeh, and then we went to Petach Tikva.
Wow.
There was a dira, apartment of 3 rooms. In every room was a family. This was partners at 44.
And was it very difficult?
They were not. We are happy that we can that we have a room. And my mother made a kitchen in a corner because we couldn't use the kitchen of the house.
And Sarah, what did you speak with your parents? Did you speak Romanian, or what language did you speak?
With my mother, here in Israel, I was speaking German with my mother. She was in Austria. From my grandfather left Bukovina at the first מלחמת העולם הראשונה, the first one, and went to Vienna. And she was 2 years old.
She was born in...
She was born in Bukovina, and she was 2 years. They went to Vienna. And she was Vienna until the 20s. Then they came back to Romania. But all the time she was in Vienna and she was speaking German.
And your father could also speak German?
No, Yiddish. When we came to Petach Tikva, there were neighbors Yekim from German. And mother was talking with them, and there were children but also talking German. So I forgot Romanian and I got German.
And with your father, did you speak Yiddish?
Yiddish, yes. So Yiddish and German.
Do you remember any of the Romanian?
Little, very little. When I hear Romanian talking, I can some word to they remember me something, but I don't know.
And Sarah, when you were in Petach Tikva, did your parents, did they mix mainly with other survivors or other people who had come from Romania, or?
Not only, no, different, not only from Romania, no. Also, but there are from Romania, but there are.
And when you went to Gan and when you started Kita Aleph, was it easy for you?
Hebrew. So in the Gan, through all the songs, and so the Ganenet was also a Yekit. She was
a German.
So it was. She helped me to learn the Hebrew. So I came to school. I was no problem with the language.
And the other children, when you were in primary school, did anybody ask where were you born or that you came from?
Yeah.
Was that difficult?
At first I was a stranger a little. They want to know where I was born and when did I came and when did I come and all this. Well,
But you got on well. You made friends and you.
Yeah, of course.
Because you were.
Yeah.
And your parents, did they discuss the Shoah or did they discuss when you were growing up?
And yes, they didn't talk about it at home. The parents of my grandfather and grandmother of my mother were killed on the way to Transnistria. They were from Bukovina, and they were killed on the way to Transnistria.
And who was it by Romanian or by German? Do you know who killed?
A Romanian.
Romanian.
A Romanian, yeah. We had somebody saw it and tell my parents the date. It was Hoshana Rabbah, and he said that he tried to bury them under the.
And they were killed by Romanians.
Mm-hmm. A Romanian, a gendarme, 70 years, killed them. The Agala
the defense stuff
was broken, so they couldn't go further, and so he killed them, and no.
Just because they were Jewish?
Mm-hmm.
They killed them just because they were Jewish?
Because the Agala was broken.
The Agala, the wheel?
Yes, the wheel, couldn't go further. So, but my parents didn't talk about it. I heard about it later, much later.
And Sarah, growing up, did you have any problems that because you came from Europe with the other children, or there was never an issue?
No. Maybe. No, but no. At the high school, not at all. Maybe at the beginning in the primary school, maybe they were asking more or those, but not because I was עולה חדשה. But in the high school, it was. I was Israeli.
And you remember the Declaration of Independence? You remember when?
Yeah. We were in Petach Tikva. חגגנו.
You were celebrating.
Celebrating.
But you've gone through it all. You've gone through the wars. You've gone through.
I remember a little the war. I remember that we are very. I remember the mandat, the main mandat.
With the British?
The British, yes. Every time they made Otzer, and we couldn't go out from the house.
A curfew.
Careful.
A curfew.
Yeah.
A curfew that you couldn't go out. You were forbidden to leave the house.
No. It was a very interesting day. I had a brother. It was a Brit. Ima was in Bellinson, in Bet Holim Bellinson, and we came on Tuesday. Was the Brit, and we got up in the morning. Otzer. So father went to the officer, and actually they said that in the afternoon they will open the doors. So father called the Bet Holim to wait with the Brit to the afternoon. This I remember. אבל the war then. In Petach Tikva we didn't suffer too much. I don't want. We were one day. Mother took me to Tel Aviv to buy shoes, and was an alarm. פתאום, all at once an alarm because in Yafo was so. But we didn't suffer too much from. As a girl, I didn't. As a girl of, I was 8.
And Sarah,
yes, I was 8 years.
After the war, when the war ended, did any other family come to meet you? Did you?
Of course, families, from Transnistria came, yes.
They survived.
Again. They came home, and Ima was very...
And did they come to Israel? They came to...
Came to Israel, they came to us, of course.
They must have been very emotional when you reconnected.
Of course, and they told everything, and how they suffer in Transnistria. Yeah, of course. A lot of time was the
and so with everything,
and then one of the cousins, a few cousins came from Transnistria. One came with her husband, and they lived in Haifa, and we were every time we were going to Haifa to meet them, and they come to us, and and one was in Herzliya. One of the cousins find her home in Herzliya, and so
And you remained very close with the family?
Very close, yeah, of course. My mother invited them every time to Shabbat and so, and we are going to see them.
And Sarah, do you know what happened to the other Jews that remained in the town? The town that you were born in, what happened to the Jews that remained there? Did they survive the war?
In Bet HaKnesset, where my son is davening in near where is it? Bekor Baruch. In Bekor Baruch, there is a Bet Knesset where my son is the rabbi there, and one of the gabbai is from Tergun Yams, but he came after the Medina, after the כן.
So he survived?
כן, after 48 he came to Israel. זאת אומרת, people in that town where
they survived.
Were survived, yeah.
And have you ever gone back to Romania to visit?
אני לא.
And do you have any wish to go back or desire?
No. My I tell you, I'll give you the ktovet of the neighbor, of the granddaughter of this. She went to Romania, she went to Yassi, she went to the Kever, she went here. So she can
Sarah, I
tell you
want to
much
ask you,
more.
What message can you impart? What message do you give to your children and grandchildren from what you've seen? You've seen, I mean, you lived through the Shoah, you lived through the times, and then you lived through the rebirth of Medinat Israel. You've seen the worst and you've seen the best. You've seen miracles. You've seen... So what message do you impart, or what message do you give to the future generations?
I tell them I am a piece of history. They learn about all this in school. I wrote my story, but it did not yet appear. I wrote my story, but I have a Kala, the wife of my son. She is a graphicite and she makes everything, and when she will have time she will make
I'll publish.
He will publish it.
And do your grandchildren, and did your children ask you a lot of questions about
Of course, you know, the children make now avodot shorashim, roots.
The roots.
Yeah. So everyone knows everything. They know how I came to Israel.
And your emunah, you always kept your emunah. Your emunah, your belief in Hashem.
Of course.
And your whole family, everyone in the family?
Olam. All.
That is, it's very big. It's a...
כן, Baruch Hashem.
Sure.
Baruch Hashem.
So Sarah, what do you tell your children and the grandchildren? What message do you give them?
Not everything we are planning. Not everything in life we are planning. There are things that come on us and we have to להתמודד, how do you say להתמודד? To overcome it,
It's to overcome.
And you make things in life that you didn't dream that every time you will have to do it. I say the same even of Yakir Yerushalayim. I didn't want it. It was on my head all at once. But I saw that at the beginning I was against. And I saw that it will hurt people, that I'm
It will hurt
against.
people because it's such an honor. Sarah,
People tried to do it for me, and I was not very nice at the first. So I changed my feelings, and I say I have to go with it, even if I don't like it.
Because Sarah, you are so modest.
Because it's kavod, and
It's a big honor. It's a tremendous honor.
Yes,
but you're very modest. You're very tzanua.
But honestly, it's not a kavod. It's not my not a piece of my life. So.
Well, we are very honored that you received such an award, because it's so deserving. It's so deserving, and you so deserve it.
So if you ask me what I say to children, I think that in life you don't plan everything by yourself. There are things that are coming on you, and you have to go with it. You have to overcome it, and if you want it or not.
Well, Sarah, I just want to thank you, because for me this has been such a zchut, such an honor. Sarah, really, you are so tzanua, you are so modest, but we are so honored that you got Yakir Yerushalayim. Yakir Yerushalayim is one of the greatest honors that a resident of Yerushalayim can be awarded, and you so deserve it. And Sarah, you know, your life was full of miracles as well. That your family managed to get you the certificates that you came here, Baruch Hashem, and you've achieved so much, and you should only have mazel and bracha and nachas from your family. And I want to thank you so much, Sarah. You are an example for all of us to emulate. You really are. You are very special.
My 4 children were at the kiddush.
So I'm honored that we're in the same shul for many years, and it was such a wonderful. It was so wonderful that you had the kiddush in our shul, and that you received this award, which is so deserving.
I felt that I want to make the kiddush to be a part
That's wonderful.
of the keilah, because 3 bar mitzvot I made here.
So you should have many more simchas, and you should only have mazel and bracha. And so already thank you so much. It's been absolutely such a zchut, such an honor and a privilege, Sarah.